Let's say you have a basic circuit and you want to measure the voltage and the current at various points in that circuit. These are the 6-volt lantern batteries that we are using in these labs. Note the positive and negative terminals labeled on the top. Now those things are actually just kind of like several big D cells. Here's a 1.5 volt D cell, the positive button on the end and the negative non-button on the other end. If you stack two like this, end to end, negative to positive, you get a total of 3 volts. 4 of those D cells stacked would give you 6 volts. 4 times 1.5 volts gives you 6 volts in series. So if you take all 4 of those and stack them, but don't really stack them, put them side by side, put them in a case, and connect the negative side to the positive side, negative to positive, you get the battery we use. Let's make a basic circuit. If you take that battery and connect it to one side of the bulb base, connect the other side to the other terminal of the battery, you have a simple circuit. Bulb lights up. If it doesn't, just make sure everything's connected properly and the bulb is screwed in, and you're ready to take some measurements. Voltmeters first. Remember that the voltmeter must be connected in parallel outside the circuit. So you leave the circuit as it is, and you connect the negative end to the negative side of the bulb. You can see it because it's connected to the negative side of the battery. And take the positive side of the socket and connect that to the positive of the voltmeter. Get a reading. Make a solid connection, and because it is less than 5 volts, you can then take that connector on the 15 volt range, move it to the 5 volt range, and read the bottom set of numbers. It goes up to 5. That was the voltage, or the electric potential difference across the bulb. Now for the voltage of the battery. Circuit is off at this particular point. You can measure the voltage of a battery, connect the negative to the negative, positive to the positive. Start with the 15 amp range. Measure the voltage. If it's below 5 on that 15 volt range, you can move your red connector to the 5 volt range. Notice what happens to the voltage reading when the light bulb is turned on. That's because of the internal resistance of the battery. There is some energy loss inside that battery. Now let's imagine you want to take the voltage across the negative wire in that circuit. Turn it on, connect the negative of the voltmeter to the negative side of the wire, and the other one to the other side of that wire. Watch the meter on the final connection. And you can see that, well, it doesn't seem to do anything, at least at first. So you reconnect to the 5 volt range and carefully just connect and disconnect and connect and disconnect. And you can watch that needle waver ever so slightly back and forth. This voltmeter can't measure it. The range is too high, but there is a small energy loss in those wires. Now we switch meters and use the ammeter to measure the current at different points. This is the positive terminal of the battery. Ammeter has to go inside the circuit, so you disconnected the positive terminal of the battery using the yellow wires as the original circuit. Connect the negative to the negative side and the positive to the positive side. Start with a 5 amp range. Connect. Light bulb goes on. Measure the amperes. Current is less than 1, so you can change it and read the lower set of numbers. Reconnect the original circuit. One wire color for the original circuit helps a whole lot. So disconnect, reconnect the original circuit, take that white wire out of there, and reconnect as it originally was. Now we want to measure the positive terminal of the bulb. Put the ammeter inside the circuit at that point, positive to positive, negative to negative. If the meter goes backwards, you've connected it backwards. Positive is to negative, negative is to positive. Measure that value. Move it down to the 1 amp range if necessary. get a good measurement. Reconnect that circuit, the original 2 yellow wires, when you're all done. And then you want to go around and measure the current at the other 2 points. Negative terminal of socket of the bulb, put the ammeter in between those 2 points. Negative terminal of battery, put the ammeter in between those 2 points. Use that extra wire, complete the circuit, and you got it. Remember, ammeter measures current, has to be inside the circuit, but the voltmeter measures the potential difference between 2 points outside the circuit. Make sure you connect them correctly. Works out better if you use 1 wire color for your main circuit. And if your light bulb goes off, bad connections, or you've mixed up the ammeter and the voltmeter.